Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's the one and only, your girl, the Cartoon Hotspot. And in today's video, I'm going to be reacting to the episode, Mister Agreste. Now I'm super excited for this episode because I think this is going to be an Adrien Agreste centered episode. And you guys know how much I love my Adrien Agreste centered episodes. It's going to be a banger. Now in my last video, I reacted to the episode, The Ruler. So go check that out if you haven't watched it. I highly recommend watching it. But for Mister Agreste, I haven't really kept up with a lot of spoilers. Like I've seen teasers, but I never really watched them. I don't really know what the synopsis for this episode is. I am aware that Luca is involved in one way or another. So that is pretty interesting. And yeah, let's just dive straight into the reaction. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is G and I like to make analysis videos, video essays, reaction videos, ranking videos on the various media that I enjoy, and I like to analyze and dissect them from a writer's perspective. Such media include Miraculous Ladybug, Winx Club, The Legend of Korra, Amphibia, and so much more. So if that's something that you're interested in, hey, why don't you stick around, subscribe to my channel, it's a fun time around here, give this video a thumbs up, and click that bell button for post notifications. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm excited.
Milady, look, that boy is saying goodbye to his family. He's leaving his entire life behind.
There's no other way, Kitty. Luca Kufane knows our secret identities.
Are we really sure about that? Has he told you who you are?
Yes.
What about me? Did he tell you who I really am?
Of course not. I can never know who you are, just like you can never know who I am.
What if he's wrong about me?
Okay, so this is a flashback to when Luca had to leave Paris because he discovered Ladybug and Cat Noir's identities. I'm not quite sure what Cat Noir said. What if he's wrong about me? Like, what does he mean by that?
You say you know Ladybug and Cat Noir's secret identities, but how can you be sure? Maybe you're wrong, and you're leaving for Brazil over nothing. If I stay, I'll only make it harder for Monarch to be defeated by Ladybug and you.
Oh, okay, now I get it. I think Adrien just wanted confirmation that Luca absolutely knows that Cat Noir is him. Luca Adrien is really cute. I really wish though we got more scenes of them alone, like just Luca and Adrien without like Marinette involved whatsoever, because I feel like this scene will definitely hit a lot harder, and I can't absolutely be convinced that Adrien and Luca have a really close friendship. Obviously, I'm not saying like Adrien cannot be upset about Luca leaving Paris. Luca is his friend, but I don't know, maybe a couple more Luca Adrien moments from previous seasons would have made this particular moment hit a lot harder. But that's just my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree with me.
Can you explain what really happened? The fight took place between this fashion designer Gabriel and Mister Agreste and Monarch.
You know, you can tell me anything, Marinette.
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
So she's having a nightmare, obviously, about possibly being exposed for lying about the true identity of Monarch. And the one person that she feels comfortable in confiding in is Luca.
What? My father was Monarch? How could you hide this from me, Marinette? You lied to me! You and I are over!
Another nightmare, Marinette? No, I slept like a log.
So, just judging based on this conversation, it's very much implied that Marinette has been having nightmares quite frequently. And if we want to assume the timeline this is taking place in, I'm gonna guess that the events of season 6 so far is only about a month, maybe 2 months after the season 5 finale, which is not quite long in hindsight. It's actually really recent. So baby girl's been having nightmares every single night.
Marinette, maybe you should consider telling Adrien the truth about his father. It's eating away at you. No, I promised Gabriel Agreste that I would say nothing. If you keep mixing up your words, you'll end up telling him everything by accident.
I think because the truth is eating Marinette up, one way or another, it's going to be revealed. Maybe not necessarily from her, but I think from somebody else.
I'm Cat Noir. I was supposed to stop Monarch, but instead my father sacrificed himself to defeat him. I can't believe he and the hero who saved the world are the same person. It's like I'm missing something key here to understand, like who he really was.
Ladybug already told you how it went down, didn't she?
Yes, but I can feel she's not telling me everything. If only I'd been there when she faced Monarch. Hold on, Plag. You were there. You can tell me what really happened.
Now Adrien is questioning the father he grew up with versus the supposed hero that defeated Monarch. There's a bit of a mismatch, okay? Something is not clicking. The math isn't mathing. Because how could he grow up with someone so abusive, so controlling, someone he could barely call a father? Because let's be honest, they were practically strangers living in the same house. And this is what I spoke about in my Revelator analysis video. By the way, go check that out. I highly recommend watching that video. But to summarize, I said that it's going to be very difficult for Adrien to grieve in the way he needs to grieve, because does he grieve the man he grew up with, or does he grieve the man that is commemorated as a hero? You cannot fully heal without understanding what you're trying to heal over, I guess. Adrien loves his father. We already know that. Despite the fact their relationship was fraught with tension, Gabriel Agreste was a very abusive man. And it's okay to grieve that. It's okay to grieve the loss of your dad, but also understanding that at the end of the day, I didn't have the greatest relationship with my father, which is why the truth is so important for Adrien to hear. Like, yes, it's going to hurt him. It's probably going to destroy him. But at the same time, not knowing the truth is actually a lot worse. But also another thing I want to talk about. Adrien says that, yes, Ladybug told him how everything went down, but he feels like Ladybug is keeping something from him, or at least not giving him the full truth. And it's very obvious when somebody is lying. Like, you could just feel it in your chest. My issue with this, though, and feel free to comment on what you guys think, but at the end of the London special, Ladybug tells Cat Noir that she can't really tell him what happened, and he's like, it's okay, milady, it's fine. Like, it doesn't matter.
I'm the one who's sorry, and I can't even tell you about it.
It doesn't matter. All that matters is that Monarch was defeated.
Which is crazy to me, because yes, Adrien is grieving. And yes, he's probably in shock that his dad is, dead. But we have to remember that Ladybug and Cat Noir have been fighting side by side since season 1. According to the show's timeline is a whole year. That's BS, by the way. You cannot convince me that all of the events of seasons 1 to 5 is just under a year. So let's just say a little over a year, right? They've been fighting side by side a little over a year. It's you and me against the world. We're going to unmask Monarch and put an end to this. Now that the end has finally happened and Monarch has been defeated, you mean to tell me Cat Noir is not a little bit curious as to what happened whilst he was absent? But I feel like it's very in character for Cat Noir to be like, okay, I don't need to know everything now, but eventually I do need to know what happened because you are my partner. It's been us against the world. You gotta tell me what happened. They had that whole conflict in season 4 about keeping secrets, and they said they were never going to keep secrets from each other again. So I don't know why he was so chill about it in the London special, but now he's having some time to reflect and he's like, you know what? Something isn't adding up. Ladybug's story isn't quite tracking here.
Come in.
Delivery of chouquettes and Marinettes.
Just what I needed.
Are you talking about me or the chouquettes? Are you ready to deceive? I mean, leave?
I am, now that you're here.
I'm not gonna lie, that was really cute. I will not start crashing out. I will not start crashing out.
A few moments later.
I'm already crashing out. I love Adrienne. Adrienne for the win. I have to say it, guys. I have to say it every reaction video. Adrienne for the win.
This is the proposal selected by the city of Paris to replace the vandalized statue honoring Gabriel Agreste. Similar to the previous proposal, this statue will be financed by Mrs. Sarugi, and Theo Barbeau will be in charge of creating the sculpture.
They're replacing a vandalized statue. Who the hell vandalized the original one? My money's on Felix. And you know what? Actually, I'd support him in doing that.
You knew my father?
Of course. I worked with him on several occasions. He was like a mentor to me. A man who defeated evil and poor taste with his nimble fingers. A man who...
Tried to stop me from loving Marinette.
Sorry.
My father might have been a hero, but I think you're seeing him as greater than he really was.
It's him clutching his non-existent pearls. He was gagged.
Your moth... Dad! Your dad did save Ladybug.
That glare from Nathalie, she was like, girl, you better shut your mouth.
Don't you remember the taste of his pancakes, Marinette? As dry and rigid as him.
Are you telling me that he was also a good cook? Such a model father.
Is this guy dumb? He literally just said the pancakes were dry and rigid. I don't even know how you can make dry and rigid pancakes. Is that physically possible? Like what? You could just say tasteless, rigid pancakes. Rigid. Like rigid means, damn, he was eating bricks for breakfast. And here comes this dumbass saying, are you saying he was a good cook? Like, no, comprehension much.
I'm sure he loved you in his own way.
Even though I loved him too, I can't just forget the harm he caused us. And now hearing the way everyone talks about him, I feel like they're talking about someone else. I refuse to see him the way everyone else does. Does that make me a bad son?
No, of course not.
Oh my gosh, my Shayla.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My Shayla.
I just want to say I really love how Adrien questioned if he's a bad person for not wanting to grieve the version of his father that is glorified by the rest of Paris. Majority of Paris don't know who Gabriel Agreste is. They don't know who this supposed hero is. Adrien is the only one who truly knows who Gabriel Agreste is, which is the irony of this because he doesn't know who Gabriel Agreste is. He doesn't know his dad was monarch. It's also the fact that he's asking, like, am I wrong for feeling this way? Am I wrong for wanting to grieve the person that I am most familiar with? The abusive, controlling father. Is that a wrong thing for me to want to remember him by? Absolutely not. Oftentimes when abusers die, they're often glorified because a lot of people don't actually know who the abuser was behind closed door, beneath the mask. So abuse victims are often gaslit and guilt-tripped into not wanting to grieve or mourn the loss of their abuser. I'm really glad that Adrien is questioning these things, and so far I'm really enjoying this episode.
Maybe I could have saved him.
There's nothing you could have done.
How do you know that? Neither of us were there.
Adrien,
Let's go home, Adrien.
Was Marinette about to just spill the truth before Nathalie came in? But also, let's actually talk about what Adrien says. He also says, maybe if I was there, I could have saved him. But I feel like that has a deeper meaning. Because let's try and imagine a scenario where Adrien was involved in the final battle. Do you think Adrien Agreste would have been able to get through to his father and convince him to drop this villain act? Who knows? And Marinette says there's nothing you could have done to save him. Meaning that maybe Gabriel Agreste was too far gone. He made his choice. Gabriel Agreste made his choice, and he chose to rather die with this choice. I was going to say live with it, but he didn't live. He ended up dying. So Gabriel Agreste chose to die with his choice because Marinette tried to get through to him. Marinette tried to convince him like, hey, I won't report you. We can find a solution to solve this. But Gabriel preferred to die rather than face the consequences of his actions. So would Adrien being there made a difference? I mean, yes, from a storytelling standpoint, yes, it would have made a whole lot of a difference if Adrien was there. Obviously, the finale would have been a lot more emotive, but damn, maybe the outcome still would have been the same. Maybe Gabriel would have still chosen to die.
I can't take it anymore. We have to tell Adrien the truth.
Have you lost your mind? You want to tell him that you're Ladybug.
What do you mean?
Okay, I don't like how Nathalie's dragging a child across the courtyard. I don't like that at all. Miss Sanker, you better tread easy. Tread easy because nobody puts hands on my daughter. We ride at dawn for Marinette Dupencheng. Damn. No, I'm irritated. I'm angry already. I don't like the way she was dragging her.
Only Ladybug would know that Gabriel Agreste was monarch, not Marinette Dupencheng.
Well, I could tell him everything as Ladybug.
And let him figure out that I was monarch's accomplice. We have determined a truth. We're sticking to it. You need to grin and bear it, Marinette. It's too late to go back.
Okay, I have many thoughts about this, right? Nathalie does bring up a good point that technically it wasn't Marinette that lied to Adrien. It was Bug Noir. And if you remember in the London special, I can't remember the exact wording, but when Bug Noir proposed the idea of formulating this lie to Adrien, she says Marinette cannot know something only Ladybug would know. Keep that in mind.
Until I've gotten the miraculous of the butterfly back, I can't tell him the truth about his father. Marinette can't tell him something only Ladybug is supposed to know.
So I think it's a valid point that Nathalie is bringing up. Like, hey, if you are going to confess the truth, you need to remember you lied as Ladybug, so you need to be prepared for the consequences of that. Are you willing to deal with those consequences? If you are, okay, sure. On the flip side, in the London special, Nathalie was literally willing to go to jail. She was going to confess her crimes as Gabriel's accomplice and go to jail. But it was Marinette that talked her out of it. And honestly, she should not have let Marinette do that, because Nathalie is the adult in the situation. Marinette is just a kid, okay? Why are you letting a kid steer your decisions? If you are willing to go to jail and face the consequences of your actions, I think you should still be willing or still be open to the possibility of that happening. Okay, cool. Now I'm Adrien's guardian because he doesn't have a father, he doesn't have a mother, his grandparents are barely around. I'm Adrien's primary guardian. But don't get too comfortable, Nathalie, because stuff is going to be revealed about you. And yes, we also need to remember that now there's this secret, miraculous Illuminati sort of thing. The secret council, the Diamond Council thingy. I don't know what that was all about. But at the end of the episode El Toro de Piedra, we saw that Nathalie's father is the head of this one council and they want to expose Ladybug for lying about Gabriel Agreste not being monarch. So that council is on Nathalie's ass. We know that, okay? There's pressure on Nathalie's side. But threatening a kid and telling her to like just bear the consequences and smile and be grim about it, like that's insane. Nathalie's okay with keeping secrets. She's the adult, like I said. She's been keeping secrets from Adrien for years now. Marinette, on the other hand, it's eating her alive. So you cannot just tell a kid to like, hey, swallow it up. Deal with it. Okay, tough luck, kiddo. Like, that is just so cruel and unsympathetic.
Everything okay, Nathalie?
Yes. Marinette simply thought she lost the keys to her scooter.
I think Adrien is suspecting something. I think he's going to put two and two together, one way or another. And what's funny about this whole thing is that they're trying to keep this secret. But if anything, I feel like Adrien is very receptive and they treat him as this, like, you know, this baby that needs to be coddled, who's completely blind to everything. If anything, I think he's pretty receptive to what's going on around him. Remember that I mentioned, like, in previous videos, Adrien is highly emotional intelligent and the fandom and the show doesn't give him enough credit for that. He's very good at picking up, I wouldn't say social cues, but he's very good at like reading body language when something's off, you know, like he has that very intuitive spirit. So the more Marinette can't keep it together, and remember they are a couple, so it's going to be even easier for him to realize like, hey, something is off. Like, yeah, I know something's off with Ladybug, but what's going on with you, Marinette? And Nathalie's going to slip up as well. I can just feel it. Nathalie is going to slip up one way or another. You can only keep up a facade for so long. Eventually, those walls have to come crumbling down.
You can talk to me if something's wrong, you know, Marinette.
No, that's the thing. I can't tell you. Unless, of course, I can totally tell you. I'll be right there.
What? Like now? In Brazil?
Yes, I'll be there in an hour and 14 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'm on my way.
Girlie was crashing out so much that she was like, you know what, I'm gonna fly to Brazil. Also, does it really take an hour and 14 minutes from Paris to fly to Brazil? That's BS. Like, yes, I know she's using her Cosmobug powers, but surely it's not faster than an aeroplane. An hour and 14 minutes to Brazil? I wish. Because if that was the case, I'd be in Brazil right now. My ass would be chilling on the beach.
No, thank you. I'd rather be alone for a while.
Luca, I agreed to be your pretend girlfriend to put up the pretense, but if it's hurting you, don't you think it would be easier if you just told Marinette the truth?
I already tried.
Pretend girlfriend? The concept of asking somebody to be your pretend boyfriend or pretend girlfriend is so wild to me because, like, how do you even respond to that? Like, if one of my friends came up to me and was like, can you be my pretend girlfriend? I'd low-key be weirded out. Like, yeah, I would do anything for my friends, but pretend to be your girlfriend? What? And it's like, does he even know? Like, how long has he known this person? What's her name? She's really pretty, by the way. That's so weird to me, especially in the context that, like, Luca just moved to Brazil. He's met this random person and he's just like, hey, can you pretend to be my girlfriend? And she's like, yeah, sure. Like, that concept is so wild to me. Am I tripping, or does that sound crazy to anybody else? Let me know.
Truth is, I'm not leaving because of the new butterfly villain.
But then, why are you leaving?
You and Adrien finally listened to your inner melodies, and today they're forming a beautiful symphony. I'm happy for you two. But I'm still in love with you, Marinette. If I stay, I'm scared this pain will turn the joy I feel about seeing you together into jealousy and ruin our friendship. That's why I'm leaving.
Luca,
It's gonna be hard being away from you.
please stay. Adrien and I will make sure not to be too close when you're around. Just, please don't.
I'm sorry, I'm not evil. I promise you guys, I'm not a wicked person. But this is sending me. Like, yeah, we've been new. Luca is still in love with Marinette, but I didn't think that would be the reason why he, like, decides to go back to Brazil, of all places. Not that there's anything wrong with Brazil, but guys, you need to think about it. There are other European countries. You're gonna find anywhere else closer to France, Spain, Germany, Switzerland. You're gonna find anywhere in Europe. Anywhere in Europe would have sufficed. You just had to take your ass to a different continent. Just because you don't want to be around your ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend. That is wild to me. And you know what? I hear it. I hear it. I'd probably do the same. I hear it. I'm not even going to lie. I hear it. One thing about me, I'm a leaver. I'm going to leave. I get you, Luca. I really do. But that is beyond ridiculous in my opinion. I do think it's very emotionally intelligent of Luca to admit that, hey, I love you guys to bits. But seeing you guys will eventually turn this love into resentment and jealousy. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to succumb to this jealousy. That's really mature on his part.
I apologize in advance for what I'm about to do.
What are you about to do?
I'm about to lie to you. For the good of the three of us.
No, don't do that!
I really like this side of Luca. Like, yes, I still think he's very much an extension of Marinette's character, and I don't think he'll ever not be an extension of Marinette's character, unfortunately. But I really do like that he's taking some sort of initiative and he's having a bit of a backbone. Because my main issue with Luca throughout the series so far is that he's always been unrealistically calm. He's never really had any emotions beyond loving Marinette. It just wasn't realistic, and it just didn't make him feel like an all-round character. It just kind of felt like, oh, okay, this is Marinette's love interest and that's his sole purpose. Cool. The fact that now he's telling her like, hey, I don't feel comfortable around you and Adrien anymore because I feel like I'm going to eventually give in to this jealousy that's already brewing inside of me. And then he uses the power of second chance, let's be honest, abuses the power of second chance for his own selfish purposes. That honestly, that fleshes him out a lot more. It shows a little bit of depth to his character, and I can't be mad. I really can't be mad. Like, at least we're seeing some flaws within Luca.
Because I've met an awesome girl in Brazil.
You have? That's amazing!
I'll be your friend forever, Marinette. You can always count on me.
Okay, I know he just made up a lie and said, like, I'm going back to Brazil because I met someone. But you guys have to remember that Luca is, what, 15? So you mean to tell me Marinette just buys the idea of a 15-year-old moving all the way to another continent because he's met this girl? And she's like, that's amazing. But I think as a normal 14-year-old, I'd be questioning, like, so you're going to live in Brazil and your parents are cool with that and you're just going to leave all of your friends behind? Like, you're like, what? In my mind, I'd be like, what? The math isn't mathing. But hey, for the purpose of plot and to keep it moving, I'm guessing she's just super elated and she's not putting any thought behind it.
Luca, what did you tell Marinette?
I couldn't bring myself to tell her anything.
I'm sure you'll get there eventually.
It's so interesting to me how, like, we've kind of come full circle because Luca is a character that values the truth. I mean, he literally has a whole episode titled Truth, which was the premiere of season 4. And now that things have gotten a lot more serious with him finding out Ladybug and Cat Noira's identities, him finding out that Monarch is after him because he knows Ladybug and Cat Noira's identities, essentially Luca has kind of been put into Marinette's position where he finally understands that he has to lie in order to get by. The truth sometimes isn't enough. Sometimes you just have to lie to protect yourself or to survive or whatever it is. I find those parallels very interesting.
Power down.
I feel like there's more to the story that we're not seeing. Just based on the cinematography of this scene alone. I might be right, I might be wrong, but I have a hunch. The creators decide to use a wide shot, an establishing shot, when Ladybug arrives in Brazil and dragged Luca across the beach. They could have done a close-up, or they could have done a medium shot. They specifically did a wide shot that pans a certain direction. Hold that thought. I'm cooking. I know I'm cooking.
Luca, I lied to the entire world. Adrien's father wasn't a hero. He was a monarch. He made me swear that I wouldn't say a thing so that Adrien would think well of him in order to protect him. But now, because of that, I'm having to lie to everyone.
Why did you do that?
Because I love Adrien more than anything, and he'd be in so much pain if he ever found out. He could get acclimatized with a new holder of the butterfly miraculous, and I'll never, ever, ever let anyone hurt him, even if it burns my lips and my heart every day until the end of time. Do you think I did the right thing?
I don't know, Marinette.
Oh my gosh. Okay. The first thing I'm going to talk about, the musicality. Chef's kiss, okay? The background music, perfect choice. Chills. Literal chills. Secondly, the camera tilting to a Dutch angle as she's confessing the truth to Luca. Dutch angles are used to create a very uncomfortable ambience and uncomfortable atmosphere. It's usually when something eerie or like discomforting in the scene is happening. So the fact that Marinette is confessing the truth, clearly she's in a very uncomfortable position. Confessing this much of a truth is bound to weigh heavy on somebody. So the fact that the writers or the creators or the animators used a Dutch angle, 10 out of 10 for me. Let's talk about the actual dialogue. Marinette saying, I love Adrien more than anything and I will not let anything hurt him. That's why she lied. I mean, we knew this already. Seeing him hurt is like the most heartbreaking thing ever. And that would make sense. If you are in love with somebody, you feel everything they feel. When they're hurt, you're hurt. When they're happy, you're happy. And so Adrien finding out the truth is going to be the most heartbreaking thing. So much so that she can't bear it. She would rather bear this burden alone than witness her boyfriend, her lover, suffer. And that's so tragic because when she says, I love Adrien more than anything includes herself. Now, I'm not trying to say that Marinette doesn't love herself. No, absolutely. She loves herself, right? But in this case, she's very much sacrificing her needs for Adrien. That isn't very healthy. That isn't a form of self-love because you still need to have some sort of self-love even when you're in a relationship. Sometimes you do need to put yourself first. It's not worth it, Marinette. I promise you it's not worth it at all.
I don't know, Marinette. I'm gonna ask you something you'll probably find very strange, but please let me borrow your miraculous.
What? Why?
I know things that you don't, and I'm probably the only one who can fix this. Give me your earrings.
No. Tell me what you're gonna do and I'll take care of myself.
Marinette, I love you. You're the strongest person I've ever met, but this time I'm the one who needs to protect you. You have to trust me.
What does Luca know? What has Luca seen that we haven't seen, that Marinette hasn't seen? Damn, what does he need her miraculous for? Oh my gosh, I'm so intrigued and I'm kind of scared at the same time. Straight up saying it, I could never bear any time traveling miraculous, like the snake miraculous, the bunny miraculous. Keep those away from me. If I was in the miraculous universe and Marinette handed me the snake or the bunny miraculous, I'd be like, respectfully, I don't want it. Because I feel like being a miraculous holder that's handling time travel, it's a lot to bear. It really is, because you're seeing things that other people are not seeing and you have to keep a lot of secrets to yourself because anything can change the timeline. Whatever the hell Luca has seen, it's clearly shaken him up enough for him to demand Marinette's, or rather Ladybug's miraculous.
Such an unworthy son. He doesn't recognize his own father's talent. He doesn't recognize his legacy.
I've seen enough. Kill this guy off. Get rid of him. Seize him. Cut his throat. Read the freaking room. This tells me that Theo only did it to glorify himself. He just wanted that statue up to showcase his own talent. It's not even about honoring this said Gabriel Agreste, this said hero. He's literally only in it for his own personal gains. He just wants to glaze himself. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest self-glazer in this show. I hate Theo. Get rid of him. I don't want to see him anymore. Off with his head. Off with his head.
No one will stand
Oh no. Oh my gosh. This is so triggering. Imagine like grieving your dad, right? It hasn't even been longer than a month or two, and then this statue figure of him shows up. Okay, I have a bit of analysis. So obviously this statue of Gabriel Agreste, Mister Agreste, is made of clay, right? And every attack directed at this statue clearly is futile because he just keeps remolding himself. What if this kind of represents how like Adrien and Marinette, or rather Ladybug and Cat Noir, can never truly get rid of Gabriel. Gabriel is still haunting the narrative even in death. In fact, I would say he's causing more harm dead than he was alive. The fact that he made a 14-year-old girl, manipulated her into carrying the secret. Like how is it possible that in death he's still terrorizing everybody? This statue of Gabriel Agreste being in clay, and it keeps like remolding and rematerializing whatever. What if that represents that they can never truly get rid of Gabriel Agreste, because as long as that secret is still up in the air, as long as the lies are still being told, they are still giving power to Gabriel even in death. Because when you are constantly lying, or when you are hiding something, you are giving that thing power. It has power over you. Have you ever heard like when people are dealing with like addiction or something, and therapists or like psychologists say you need to tell people about it because it gives this thing less power over you. The more people know, the less of a secret it becomes, and the less it's like, okay, I don't have to bear this shame, I don't have to bear this embarrassment, I don't have to bear this burden alone. It has less power over you. So this lie about Gabriel being a hero, it's only giving more power to Gabriel Agreste and less power to them. They need to kind of reclaim this power back. Yes, it's going to hurt because the truth always hurts, but at least it's better than whatever this is. It might be a bit of a reach, but let me know if you guys agree or if you guys had any other interpretation.
Lucky Charm! Lucky Charm! Lucky Charm! What am I supposed to do with all these? Of course! How did I not figure it out sooner? Adrien Agreste! Use the megaphone on the ground!
Why did you want to control my every move?
What are you talking about?
Why were you always traveling around the world instead of staying with Mom while she was sick? Why didn't you want me to meet my grandparents? Why didn't you want me to go to school like everyone else? Why didn't you want me to be in love with Marinette? Why did you stop being popcorn and become this? A cold, heartless statue.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna cry, but I do want to cry, but I'm not gonna cry.
Oh my god. I can't. Get out.
Let's start off with the Lucky Charms. Every time Ladybug summoned a lucky charm, she didn't know what to do with it. So first she summoned a fencing sword, I guess. We know Adrien was doing fencing as an extracurricular activity. Then she summoned perfume. We know Adrien was in a perfume ad. And then she summoned a megaphone speaker. What if all of these lucky charms weren't for Ladybug, but rather they were for Adrien? Because a fencing sword, a perfume, and now a speakerphone? Speakerphone in the sense that Adrien has always felt like he's never had a voice. He's always been silenced in his own house. Now he has the chance to speak his truth. He's asking all the questions he never got the chance to ask when his father was alive. And this is how Adrien speaks his truth. That's when the clay statue turns into stone. Because you can break stone. You can't break clay. Ugh, I love Miraculous Ladybug so much. This show drives me insane. No wonder I've stuck around with it for 10 years.
Sometimes it's better to put ideas rather than people on a pedestal. For you never truly know someone. This magical charm will help you remember that.
Girl, I think you need to take your own advice. Marinette be dishing out advice, but she's not willing to take her own advice. It kind of paints her as a hypocrite, but I think that's what I like about her character.
Good thing you were there, m'lady. I wasn't at the top of my game today.
That's why we're always here for each other, kitty cat.
Lady Noir. I swear, you could give me like Lady Noir crumbs here and there and I'll still be satisfied. I'll still be satiated. Oh, my babies. But I also think that would have been the perfect moment for Cat Noir to ask Ladybug, like, hey, what actually happened? You know, whilst they're at it, you might as well just get the cat out of the bag. No pun intended.
At least you got to tell that statue how you feel.
It won't bring my father back. And it won't help me figure out who he was either. I guess I'm gonna have to live with unanswered questions.
Sometimes no closure is closure. We're going to have questions and some of them are just never going to be answered, and that's unfortunately life. We just have to be willing to be okay with not having our questions answered.
At least you're no longer mixing up your words, Marinette. I don't have a choice. Either I keep it together or everything will fall apart. Nathalie was right. It's too late to go back now.
It's never too late. That's the thing. It's never too late to tell the truth. Because hey, better late than never.
Power down.
I knew it. When I mentioned earlier on that the wide angle shot, the establishing shot, rather than a close-up, shows that there is more to the scene. Called it. Film classes paying off, I guess.
Luca knows Ladybug? Do you think he holds a miraculous? I don't know, Minoe, but Luca definitely loves having secrets.
Okay. So Luca's fake girlfriend, Irupe, is a miraculous holder. So clearly, obviously, this is probably going to be the main character in the Brazil special. This is interesting. This kind of just changed the game. I love this episode. Holy crap. This episode, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. When the writers of Miraculous Ladybug randomly decide to lock in on a random Tuesday is hilarious to me. I'm sorry. It's like it's a hit and miss. But when they hit, boy, they hit. This episode, phenomenal. I'm sorry, I have no complaints. This episode was amazing. It's probably my favorite episode so far. God, I haven't felt this satisfied in a Miraculous episode in a long time. So that was my reaction to the episode Mister Agreste. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reacting to the episode. But as always, now I want to put it to you guys. What are your thoughts on Mister Agreste? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as for today, that's it from me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!